This is absolutely epic, like game-changing. Seriously, what kind of wizardry is that? In this video, I'm gonna put the 14 Pro head-to-head with the 13 Pro to see if the video recording improved greatly or we have the same disappointment as the photo test. Oddly enough, the video portion of the keynote wasn't really that long at all. In fact, this video will probably be longer. And since you're here, hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around, and of course, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, turn on the notification bell. Now, the only features that were highlighted for the video side was action mode and cinematic mode. The cinematic mode was increased from 1080p on the 13 Pro to 4K. And of course, action mode is action mode. We'll talk about that in a minute. Everything else related to capturing the footage was discussed in the photo portion, which they spent a lot of time on. So, are the results from the photo comparison gonna be more of the same with the video? Well, how about we just check the footage? Now, I'll set up each clip briefly and then cut to give my 2 cents. So, the first clip is testing out the rear-facing camera. It's a bright sunny day with some wind and plenty of background noise. Now, I made sure to move around a lot to capture the sun from all different directions. Okay, so we're testing out the video portion of this, and I've got a sun in my eyes. See how that looks. Also testing out the running, which probably you'll see after that. So there's some pretty cool results, and I think you need to see that. And we'll go ahead and turn around and have the sun to my back and see how these cameras handle. I'm not doing ProRes on this currently. I don't know if it's something that everybody wants to use or not use as far as the cameras go. It's a lot of space, but we'll test that out next. See how it's going. How does it sound? I'm walking. How does it look? Obviously with the sun behind us, I don't know. We'll turn back around. We got lots of stuff going on in the background, lots of birds, crickets, cars going by. Now I watched this footage over and over again to the point I was even sick of listening to me.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better.
Here's what I think. The 14 Pro is ever so slightly sharper, and as far as the coloring compared to the photos, well, when the sun is on me, they look pretty much identical. Now, when I'm facing away from the sun, I feel like the 14 Pro is a little less saturated in my face and has a tiny bit more contrast. Now, the audio isn't something that Apple talked about, and if they made any changes, well, I can't certainly tell. I tried to see if I could hear the differences with even headphones on, but I'm gonna tell you, if you're watching it on a phone, you're definitely probably not gonna hear it. You're probably not gonna hear it either. Now, let's check out the footage in some ProRes. The one thing I noticed on the 13 Pro was it took a little time to free up resources to be able to give me a time of how long I could record. And I believe it was 17 minutes on the one, which was the 14 Pro, and I believe also 17 minutes on the 13 Pro as well. But it took a little while for the 13 Pro to free up the resources. Now, granted, I've been using the phone for a year now. I'm guessing that's what it is. And the 14 Pro I've been using for a week. So, we'll see how that turns out. But I'm interested to see how this looks. The wind is blowing right now. That has nothing to do with ProRes. It has to do with how good the mics are. So the sun is now to my back. We're walking and see how it turns out. I'm sorry if you think that one looks better than the other because you have one, but to be honest with you, they both look great. All right, let's do some front-facing video. All right, we are in the same spot, checking out the front-facing cameras. No ProRes on this. Again, I don't know if that makes a huge difference. Files are larger, which means you should be able to do more with the picture. But I'm not editing these. These are coming out raw. So what you see and what you hear is exactly out of the camera. I haven't adjusted these at all. Actually, this is kind of wrong past Mike. When I shot this, I totally forgot that Apple uses something called HDR, high dynamic range. When I move the files to my Mac and drop it into Final Cut, I have to convert it for HDR because if I don't, it looks like this. So, see how that turns out. Eesh, yeah, not at all good. Now, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because if you move the video off your device and go to the footage and check it out on your computer and you're going to edit it, you may have to take care of that. Sun is at my back. I'm kind of taking a look at both phones right now. I can see a little bit of a difference between the two. Let's go ahead and turn around. Now the sun is obviously to my face. Let's switch it over to ProRes. Now, I did watch the footage on both phones from each phone, and to be honest with you, the differences were very few and far between. Well, the saturation on the front is definitely more noticeable on the 13 Pro. The grass is greener, and my face is just a bit brighter in the shade, a la kinda how it was with the photos. Okay, we are in ProRes, front-facing cameras, also walking, picking up the audio. Now, keep in mind when you're shooting ProRes, depending on how much space you have on your... Now, you don't need to listen to me ramble. The footage here is exactly the same. Now, if you really need to pull the saturation back on the 13 Pro, you can make it almost like the 14 Pro, depending on how good you are. I spent about 5, maybe 10 minutes messing around with this, and I could probably bring more color back to my face if I spent more time on it, but you get the point. You can almost fix it completely. All right, let's check out some of the features Apple loves to brag about during the keynote, and you'll probably use once or twice and never again. Oh my god. Okay, this is absolutely epic. Like, game-changing. Seriously, what kind of wizardry is that?
Come on!
They didn't even crop the footage. I mean, it's all shot on the main lens. Yeah, I'm impressed. But is it enough? Okay, let's bring it back just a little bit. On the cinematic side, I felt like the 13 Pro actually did a better job focusing on those leaves in the front, and the 14 Pro just kind of wanted to go a little bit further. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. I messed around with it to try to get it to work, but that's what I got. But hey, the rest of it, on point. Now remember, the 14 Pro added 4K, while the 13 Pro was still shooting at 1080p. Honestly, I really didn't see a difference. Oh, and the slow-mo, yeah, that was just for some fun. No specs changed for the slow-mo. But as far as the rest, I really felt like the 13 Pro kept pace. How would an older phone fare? Should we try it? Go ahead and check out this video right here talking about the photo side if you haven't seen it yet. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. You guys take it easy, and I'll see you later.